Queen.
Welcome to another episode of I Survived the Bible Edition. Remember, on this show, each week, we meet someone from the Bible who survived against incredible odds. Today, we're pleased to have Joseph join us as our guest. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Thank you.
Joseph, welcome to I Survived the Bible Edition.
It is a pleasure to be here.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. I was born in Canaan. My father, Jacob, had 11 other sons.
You have 11 brothers. That is a big family.
You have no idea.
Did y'all get along?
Not exactly. You see, I was my father's favorite. In fact, he gave me this amazing robe.
It's quite dashing.
Thank you. Unfortunately, most of my brothers weren't too thrilled about me getting this and that my father chose me as the favorite. So what they did, which was kind of mean, is they just conspired to kill me, but then they had some second thoughts about that, so I just wound up being sold in slavery instead. So.
Wait a minute, your brothers wanted to kill you? They sold you into slavery?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I survived all of it, though, and it actually ended up being a good thing, and not just for me.
How in the world could it be a good thing? It sounds terrible.
Well, so I was sold to a man named Potiphar, who treated me really well. That is, until there was like this bit of misunderstanding with his wife, and so I was thrown into prison.
Prison? I have to say, Joseph, your story seems to get worse and worse.
Yeah, there were really definitely difficult times, but I survived them all. While I was in prison, I met some people who actually worked for Pharaoh, and they got me a job with working for Pharaoh.
Pharaoh, as in the king of Egypt, Pharaoh?
Yes, ma'am. And while I was serving Pharaoh in Egypt, I helped the people there survive a 7-year famine.
That's pretty amazing.
Believe it or not, it all started with a dream.
A dream?
Yep.
As usual, I believe we have footage of these events you're referring to. Let's roll the film.
Joseph, I had the strangest dream last night.
I'm pretty good at interpreting dreams. Why don't you tell me about it?
Well, there were cows.
Cows.
Yes, cows. Some were healthy and some were thin and gaunt. And there was some grain too.
Grain?
Yes, grain. Are you going to let me finish? Telling you about my dream? Are you going to keep interrupting?
My apologies. Please continue.
Some of it was healthy and good. Yes, healthy!
Okay.
And good. But some of it was scorched by the east wind.
How many?
There were 7 each.
So there were 7 healthy cows and 7 weak cows and 7 good ears of corn and 7 thin ones.
Isn't that just what I just said? You sure don't listen to details very well, do you?
I'm just checking to make sure I understand completely what you're saying.
So what does it mean?
Well, good news and bad news. It means there's going to be 7 years of prosperity and great abundance here in Egypt.
You got that from cows and grain.
Yeah, isn't that what I just said?
Are you mocking me?
No, definitely not.
Okay, well then. That's excellent news about Egypt. Good.
Well, don't get too excited, because after that, there's going to be 7 years of famine that will ravage the land.
That's not good at all.
No, it's not.
Well, what should I do?
You need to find someone who is discerning and wise and put that person in charge of Egypt.
Where am I going to find someone like that? No, not him. What about... No, he's no good either, huh? Oh, no, that guy's no way, not him either. He would surely lead us all to ruin. Wait, what about... No, not that guy either. Oh, that's a terrible idea. Wait a minute. You figured this all out. Even if you did interrupt me time and time again and ask a lot of questions, you should be in charge.
I can do that.
So, What's your plan, Joseph? We're counting on you. It's up to you to make sure Egypt survives this famine.
What was your plan? Did you survive the famine?
We did. During the years of plenty, we built these huge storehouses and stored the abundance of wheat that was produced. When the famine came, not only did the Egyptians have enough food, but we were able to sell the leftovers to the rest of the world.
So not only did you yourself survive the famine, but Egypt and the surrounding countries as well.
Yeah, they did.
That is fabulous. But I have to ask, what happened to your brothers? The ones who tried to kill you and sold you into slavery?
Ah, yes. Well, fortunately, this story has a happy ending for everyone. My brothers actually came to Egypt looking for food because there was a famine in the land of Canaan where they're from. At first they didn't recognize me, but eventually we were reunited and they were forgiven for everything they've done. After all, if they'd never sold me into slavery, I wouldn't have been in Egypt to interpret Pharaoh's dream.
That's true. It's amazing how that worked out.
God ensured that I would survive all of the trials that I endured. Slavery, prison, all of it. He saved me so that I could save others.
Did you ever see your father again?
I did. We were reunited right before he died.
That really is a happy ending. Well, our time here is just about up. Joseph, thank you for joining us. It's been very enlightening listening to your story. You certainly survived some terrible things.
All because of God's plan.
And thank you for joining us today. Be sure to tune in for the next episode of I Survived the Bible Edition, where we'll meet Daniel and hear all about his amazing story of survival.